I'm not smiling anymore. I'm very serious.
I'm so scared.
You just get forced into like knowing everybody way too much, like more than we actually want to.
Basically.
Yeah.
That's so like all of our relationships are heightened that much more.
Like I've heard Jordan's poop stories. I'm sure I would never ever know that.
Exactly. In real life. That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
I know she's pooped in an ocean. Did you know that?
Do now. Congrats.
Oh, and she had butt spurs plucked out of her ass by her friend.
No,
that was her friend.
sand spurs.
Sand spurs, sorry. Plucked out of her ass while she was pooping.
What?
No, I was popping a
He said,
squat.
get it right.
Popping a squat. What's that? Pooping.
No, peeing.
Oh, peeing, sorry, my bad.
Popping a squat. And,
The ocean?
no.
In an alley.
I was at the beach.
Please do not obstruct your microphone.
I was at the beach with some of my girlfriends for grad week. And we were at this party. This guy whose grandparents owned a beach house down there. And the bathroom, there were so many people in there that we were like, all right, we'll go to the beach house next door to us.
Why would you do
there.
that? It was just
So we went behind it, like where it's dark, and popped squats. You know, like when
Went
you
to the
get
bathroom,
down
got it.
and you squat. And when we were peeing, she farted, and I started laughing really hard. And you know, like when you're drunk too, everything's like even more funny. But when I did, like I'm down like this, but I'm laughing so hard, I went like that, and there was like a patch of sand spurs right where I was. So I had like all of them just cleaned like right here and like all my butt. So I was like, oh my God. So I was like this, and her head was in my butt, like picking them out. And I told her, I was like, oh my God, if anybody comes around this corner, it's gonna look awkward because my shorts were, you know, like down to here, and her pants were still down. We were both still laughing. And the next morning when I wake up, I had nothing but like cherry dots, like all in my butt, all there. Yeah.
What about you, Jeff? What's your embarrassing story?
Embarrassing stuff to me is like falling in front. Like I was, when I worked in one of the restaurants.
You're like, oh, embarrassing story? I have one of those, don't worry.
We had these stairs, there were like 5 of them, and I had a tray full of drinks, and my foot slipped out from under me.
Oh.
So I went boom, and fell back on my back, went boom, 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 all the way down to the bottom. Drinks, glass everywhere, all over me, and I'm sitting at the bottom. And my sister
That is
comes
awesome.
walking around the
That's
corner,
clutch.
cracking up. I'm 17 at the time.
Cried?
So I get up, I look down, get up, and walk straight to the kitchen. There was a table of guys. There were like 8 of them. They were all hot, and they were laughing so hard. And I remember my face, I don't think, I could feel it just like getting red. And sometimes, like, if I get really nervous, I get splotchy here.
Yeah.
And I could just feel it all just like coming up. It was, oh my God, that was the most embarrassing thing ever. And the whole restaurant looked at me just because it was so loud. Yeah.
At least you had cushion.
Yeah, it was embarrassing.
I've had that happen. As a
Really?
Well, not as drastic as that, but yeah, it's
Just
embarrassing.
biff it with a bunch of drinks in your hand?
It's embarrassing when
It
you
is.
fall. I've been dancing like drunk at a club, and my boots did the same thing, and I fell flat on my back. That's embarrassing.
It's just embarrassing when I've fallen in the shower, and no one's there, but you still feel like a dumbass.
Yes.
You're like laying there like no one's seeing you.
You're like a little baby fawn that just like got born. You're like, oh man, this sucks. You're just trying to pick yourself up. Like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah, and you just feel like a dummy. No one's even there to laugh at you. You just feel dumb.
There was this lady at the other restaurant I was working at, you know, like at the bar stools like this. She was with a guy on a date. She was trying to be all sexy and stuff, and she had her chair, and you know, leaning it back like this. She did something with her hair like this, and the chair went boom, and she fell backwards, and that was hilarious. Like, I had to walk away, and she was just like, oh. I was like, oh God, how dumb do you look?
That is the best when people are trying to be sexy
Oh yeah.
or cool, and then they eat it. That's
You saw me like biff it like when I was walking in from a workout. I was like pumped and I'm all jacked and tough and angry and I'm like,
Yeah, he like catches his foot. I'm like, oh, it turned into a slow jog. I see. Oh, yeah.
and he opens the door and he goes, turn into a slow jog. I see. I was like, yeah.
Like, oh, you saw that? I'm like, yeah, I did.